Yeah, I'm your voice. Check. WIZZIEL'S. Let me tell you something good. Why men should build testosterone. Why should men build testosterone? Because it is the fuel that drives your masculine energy. Now, I know most of y'all have a good idea of what testosterone is, but for the few that don't, let me explain it. Testosterone is a male hormone that determines your level of manliness. So the higher your testosterone levels are, the more manly you will be and act. And the lower your T levels are, then the less manly you will be and act. Also keep in mind that your T levels can be way too high, causing you to act out in ways that are overly aggressive, which could lead you to behavior that could cause you to go to prison or even get killed. But it will be in your best interest to maintain your T levels at an average or slightly above average level. So if you are not sure about your T levels, or if you find yourself constantly fatigued, then it'd be wise to go to a doctor or a medical clinic and get them checked out. Let me give you my personal reasons why men should build testosterone. And overall, it will make you a much more stronger man, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it will literally give you the balls, because testosterone is produced in your testicles to act more like a man. When you are able to present your true masculine energy to the world, number one, people will respect you more. Number two, women will become more attracted to you. Number three, you will be able to take more calculated risks with your life. Number four, you will have a much cooler but higher level of self-confidence. And last but not least, number five, you will be able to perform and function like a real, authentic man. Now, you don't need to become a thug, a jerk, an asshole, or a bully. You just need to become that alpha male that is inside of you, begging to come out. And there's nothing worse than not feeling at your highest peak as a man. As a result, you can become depressed, passive aggressive, and the world, including women, will push all over you. There was a time a few months ago where my energy was low and I was angry. My body literally felt weak all the time. It was like my bone structure did not feel strong, and my sex drive was low. I became less interested in pleasing a woman, and I could not figure out, because I worked out and I was eating healthy. Well, sometimes. I just couldn't figure out why my masculine energy was being drained. I was down, but I was also determined to fix this problem so I could feel that healthy sexual being that I used to be. So then I started doing research on what the problem was. So I ended up finding out more information about testosterone and how they affect men and their actions. When I used to think about testosterone, I used to think of guys that were bodybuilders or involved in sports, which a lot of them do have high T levels. But then I also started to think about just day-to-day masculine guys who was just manly, which were mostly older men. You know, the guys born before the millennial years, usually in the late 70s, maybe early 80s. You know, the way they talked, the way they acted, the way they carried themselves was a lot different than the men nowadays. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions, but men just don't have that masculine presence like they used to be. And then the fact that feminism and single motherhood has grew dramatically don't help either. Guys are being raised by single mothers or fathers who are not masculine in a house to where they're just being emasculated. And also a house where, if you have a house to where there's a lot of women in charge, I know some of you guys stay with your aunts and your sisters or whatever, this doesn't help your T levels either. That feminine energy will overpower your ability to act like the man that I know you want to become. So your environment and what you are raised has a lot to do with your T levels as well. So if you are a guy who is not feeling at your masculine peak, but you want to increase your energy, then I promise you can do this with time and effort. This shit won't happen overnight. You know, it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to get your T levels at a healthy level. Now, this is something that me, myself, have only been working on for about a month and a half, but I have seen results so far, and I have an increased boost of energy. You know, I'm still working to get better results, but I'm gonna tell you what I've done to this point to get the best results that I have now. All right, number one, I changed my diet completely. Now, when I was in my early 20s, you know, I can get away with eating more fast food, bad carbs, and drinking those sugary drinks. But as I got older, these things start to stick with my body more, and my metabolism started to slow down. So now I've been on a contradicting diet to where I would eat healthy, but I would also eat what I wanted whenever I felt like it. See, I really had no discipline. So as I did my research though, as long as you have a strong enough reason or motivation to get this done, then you will succeed. Just don't expect to get on this lifestyle and immediately stay on a healthy path. Expect to relapse on bad food at least a few times before you can make this a normal habit. But when you do relapse, it's up to you to get back on track no matter how many times you do it. I've been there and I'm still working on this myself. So I know if I can do it, that you can do it. And you should have certain days where you eat what you want to eat, but you don't want to get too carried away with this. I want to get to the point to where I have one freedom of food day. I don't like using the word cheat days because it just makes me feel guilty. So I use the word freedom of food. So it's pretty much one day out of the month to where I eat what I want to eat. And I don't see how, 13 to 15 days out of 365 days a year will throw off my diet and interfere with me building my testosterone. But I'll keep y'all updated on this process. All right, number 2, focus on highly intense workouts. You want to keep your workouts from 30 minutes to an hour. Now, I always worked out even since I was younger, but here's the problem I ran into for the last several years. I was always doing workouts that were comfortable or moderately intense. I didn't want to get out my comfort zone. So, I was lifting heavy, but I wasn't lifting heavy to my full potential. And I was running self-paced, but I wasn't doing any sprinting. Therefore, I wasn't getting the results that I really wanted. Even though I was in decent shape, it's not about, the length of your workout, it's about the quality of your workout. So 30 minutes to an hour is plenty of time as long as the intensity is right. If you guys know Sean T, the guy that does the insanity workout, he has another workout, shorter but same good quality. It's called a T25, meaning you do 25 minutes straight of working out, you focus, and you do different body parts of the day. And this is what I use, and it's really good, and it works out for me because I do 25 minutes of this, and then I go lift weights for like 20 to 25 minutes. So my workouts are still under that hour time frame. And if you do that, this T25, you will burn these calories quick. Even if you just do the T25 with no working out, then you'll still get the results that you want. And it's a really good workout, and it's quick. So some of you guys, if you're not used to working out, then you may have to ease your way into this. You can start out with just getting up and walking. Just get up and walk outside for 10 to 15 minutes. Just start doing something. Start building yourself up little by little. If you're not a workout person, I understand it, but it's good to get some exercise in if you want to, not just to increase your T levels, but just so you can feel healthy as a man, so you can have more energy to go out and do things. Do things with your family, do things as far as your career, or maybe even start that business. It'll just work out for you in the long run because you'll have that energy to do that. All right, number 3, take vitamins and pills. Now, even though I say take vitamins and pills, understand that these things alone only aid in boosting your T levels. You still need to do natural things like eating right and exercising. Some of the good pills to take are zinc and vitamin D3, and you can find these in most of the foods that you eat. You just have to do your research and look this stuff up on your own. All right, number 4, sleep. Now, I've been told that you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep to maximize your T levels because your testosterone is created while you are sleeping. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, with my work schedule and the things I'm working on right now, I don't get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If I'm lucky, I may get 4 or 5 hours a day. And on my day off, which I have one day off a week, I get a little more sleep, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. But that's only one day out the week. So I might be fucked when it comes to sleep. But for you, I strongly recommend that you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep at least. Or if you can, 7 to 9 hours. Sometimes we get caught up in our daily schedules and our work routines and, grinding, as you like to call it nowadays, that we forget to take a chill pill sometimes. So get that rest when you can, definitely. If you can get rest, we all got shit going on in our lives. We got sick relatives, we got businesses we trying to start. A lot of us are working more than one job, longer hours. But just remember, take those days and get that rest when you can. Because as hard as I work and as many hours I work, I still know how good rest is. Sometimes I just take that day where I don't do shit. And I just lay in the bed and be lazy. That's cool from time to time. Just don't get too wrapped up in it. Now I'm gonna sum this shit up. This is a fairly long video, but I just wanted to speak on this topic because I know the personal effects of this, and I want you guys to become the strongest man that you can become mentally and physically. And this is the perfect way to do it. Build that testosterone. So these are my personal reasons why men should build testosterone. Apply them to your life and develop your masculine strength. Now you tell me, did you hear something good today?